And it was really nice. And we ended up staying together the rest of my trip. And we've been pretty much inseparable since. People have asked me if I was nervous or like intimidated to go up to him at the party. No, he didn't scare me. I was actually very happy to meet him, and yeah, I realized that I really liked him. And for a long time, when it came to that other person that I was talking about earlier, it was like, and this is very atypical of me. Like, I'm very, like I said, I value intimacy, lots of like relationships, lots of intimate friendships. But I was at the point with this other guy where I was like, I wanted him or I wanted nobody for a long time. Like, I would literally rather have been alone. And Dom was the first person I met that I was like, I don't think I care that much anymore. So I planned a couple trips back. Like, I planned a couple trips to go back, and we started hanging out with each other. And he was always kind of like, but you know, I'm really not, like, I really can't handle a long distance, like, committed thing. I'm like, all right, like, whatever. Like, I liked him, but what was I gonna do? Like, throw a fit? Like, if this is not what you're up for, then okay, like, what we have is really nice. And then I was there in March, and he was laying on the bed on his stomach, and I had my head on his back, and he was he was singing Spice Girls, and I was laughing, and I was like, and I had one, like, it was at the very edge of my speech all the time. Like, I tell everyone I love them. Strangers I meet on Twitter, like people I don't even follow and never have spoken to before. Like, I'm very, very fluid with it. I'm very open with it. I love very big. Like, my love is very, very big. I love everyone. And I'm very free with saying it. But I never said it to Dom in the 3 months from when we met to when I actually did say it. And I was so afraid I was going to say it by accident because, I don't know, I didn't want him to misinterpret what I meant, and I didn't want to, I knew I really meant it, and I didn't want it to just seem like something that was like staged or like, you know, deep and thought-provoking. Like, it was sincere. So I was laughing at something he said at the Spice Girls rendition, which was excellent, by the way, and I was like, God, I love you. And he kind of went all still, and he was like, that's the first time you've ever said that to me. And I was like, yeah, it was the first time I ever said that to you. And he actually told me a couple nights ago that that was the first time that he ever, like, even vaguely considered marrying me. He's like, it sounded so genuine and so sincere. He's like, in that moment, it felt very real and, like, very honest. He's like, he's like, it took a while longer before, like, we actually started, like, seriously discussing that as an option. But, like, that was the first time that it, like, the idea struck him, which is cute. So, you know, it is a long distance relationship, and it is difficult. And there are days where I'm sure I am very, very difficult to deal with. I have a lot of issues, and I came to him broken, you know, but he's always been so patient in, bro, where are you zooming? This is a dead end. I came to him very broken and very in need of a lot of care. And he was really up for the challenge. You know, he just was he's always been so patient with me. Every time I'm having a rough day mentally or emotionally or even physically, you know, with my health, like, he never seems to get tired of it. And I said to him once, I was like, I keep waiting for you to run out of patience. And he's like, I already did. And I was like, so what happened? He's like, I found more. He's like, that's what you do when you love somebody. You know, and he is just my biggest fan and always supporting me and always paying attention to the things that I need. Like, he couldn't care more than he does. He is always trying to find ways to be better and do more. And, you know, he's the first person to ever send me flowers for no reason. Like, I never got flowers before. Like, hardly, like, barely even holiday, like, my birth, like, I don't have, like, flowers. Like, that wasn't really because I don't want to ask for them. And I know, like, I'm not the kind of person who I'm going to expect people to read my mind all the time. I understand that's not fair, but, like, at the same time, I want you to do things that you thought of doing, because then it is sincere. Like, I don't want to have to ask you for it, you know? I'd rather not have it at that point. But, you know, even yesterday he was talking, and so Sundays are our family day. Sundays are the day that we spend all day together. Right now it's on the phone, obviously, because we're not usually together. But he told me that yesterday, he just said, he was like, yeah, I was like, yes, I said today was a really good day, and he was like, yeah, he's like, I tried really hard to, like, make it a little extra special, because it's been a while since I went above and beyond. And, like, the week or two before that, on a Sunday, he was like, yeah, I wanted to make it extra special, because I wanted to send you flowers this week, you know, but I couldn't, so, and it hit me today that, like, I don't know, usually people are making excuses in the bad direction, you know, like, they'll be like, well, I was going to do this, but I just had to blah, blah, blah. And I was going to try to, but I had to, you know, da, da, da. Dom's the only person I know who makes excuses to be good to me, you know? Like, as if he needs, like, some reason for it. He'd be like, no, I just wanted to go above and beyond for you today because blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, it's not, there's no hesitation for me. There's no unsureness, like, even in the moments that are more challenging, or in those moments that feel like, forget the moments that are challenging, even just those natural human moments where you're like, whoa, like, is this it for the rest of your life? Like, my brain's just kind of like, yeah, obviously. Like, he makes me so happy, and he is so good to me, and he always puts in the effort. Like, it's been almost a year, and none of that stuff that's supposed to come, well, technically not supposed to come, but always does come, where people are like, they just start slowly changing, or things just start slowly going south. Like, it's well past the time frame of when that should have started happening, and it just hasn't. Like, he loves me more every day. And, you know, for a while I was getting those messages about people bitching that they think that Dom's cheating on me with Thistle, which is just... First of all, Thistle would never do that to me. Second of all, Dom would never do that to me. And people were like, well, how can you be so sure they're, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, he just loves me too much. Like, he would never do that to me. He wouldn't. And I understand that people don't really understand our friendships or the way that we are with each other. You know, we're very open about other people we find attractive. We're very open about our previous relationships, you know, like, that's what works for us. And clearly there's no love lost here. Like, it's not bothering us any. It's great. We're open and we're honest, and I trust him more than I think any other human, including myself. He has proven himself to be completely trustworthy over and over and over again. He is always looking out for me in ways that I wouldn't have even considered for myself. Like, he looks out for me in ways that I never even considered to look for in a partner, because I just didn't even know that other people would ever do that. Like, he's just always supporting me and always making me laugh and always loving every part of me, even the parts that are kind of hard to love. And I'm so lucky. I'm lucky that I didn't settle for other stuff. I'm lucky that I didn't just completely give up. I'm lucky that I didn't lose hope in the entire thing. I'm lucky that I went to the party. I'm lucky that he was interested in me. I'm lucky that the timing was right. I'm lucky for a lot of reasons. But if you're in a relationship where you feel like there's no way out, and you've said, like, I was very religious. I've made that very clear over and over again. And I still had to do the right thing in terms of ending my marriage, because the right thing was the right thing for myself, not the right thing for everybody else. And the right thing for him too, honestly, because Brandon and I are friends now, and it's great. And honestly, I think that we probably would have killed each other. Like, it just, we make great friends, and I'm so glad that we got out in time to maintain that friendship and preserve that friendship, because if we had let it go for too long, I really think we would have become way too bitter and angry to ever allow ourselves to become friends with each other. And I am so grateful that we didn't miss that. So let that be a little message to all you, my first marriage is going to be my only marriage, divorce isn't an option, people. Great, okay, good, because you should always go into something knowing that you're going to full ass it and not half ass it, right? Okay. But you should know that nobody goes into these things with, if it doesn't work out, I'll just get a divorce. I shouldn't say nobody. That's a very exclusive statement, but you understand what I'm saying. People don't go into things with half-assery, but things happen. And I don't know about y'all, but for me, I'm the kind of person who learns through experience. I have to do things myself to learn. You can tell me a million times. I'm the kind of person, like, if we're playing board games, people try to explain the rules, I'm like, just start. Like, explain it to me as we go, because you can say it to me 600 times, my brain is going to glaze over. I'm going to be like, okay, I still don't know what you're talking about. It's like you're suddenly speaking French, which I don't speak, only a little bit. So I needed to go through the stuff that I went through, because I needed to, like, I wouldn't have been ready for Dom. That's it, period, point blank. I wouldn't have been ready for Dom if I had never gone through the things that I had gone through. And they were fucking miserable when I was going through them. And they were a nightmare. And I hated every single second of it. Even when something wasn't actively, like, bad, wasn't actively happening, I still hated all of it. It was a nightmare. And I didn't know how to get out of any of it. I didn't know how half of it started. It was just, everything was like a big knotted mess. And thank God, because if it hadn't been, then I don't know who I would have been when I met Dom, but it wouldn't have been the right person. And I just had no idea that it could be this calm and this secure and this content and this good. And if you're in the shitty part right now, or if you're in the waiting part right now, I promise you, it's going to be great. I promise you. I can't tell you when, and I wish I could. I can't tell you how, and I wish I could. All I can tell you is, do not give up, because it's going to be so much better that you're going to look back on those ugly moments and be like, fucking, I would really do it again if I had to. I don't want to. Universe, please. I don't want to, but if I had to, I would, because I know how amazing and great it is once you're finally through it. And if you did go through it and you made it through and you know, then come tell me your story, because I love to hear it, because it's so great to hear that life is not just about settling so that you can seem like you're doing the right thing at the right time. There's no such thing. There's no one rule fits all for everybody. Your best friends met at 19 and are still married and have it great. You know, your parents got divorced and it was ugly and messy. I'm sorry, but neither of these dictate your fate. Just because your parents had a hard time making it work, or the mentors you know had a hard time making it work, doesn't mean that your love life is doomed. Just because everyone else around you is finding all these great, or so it seems, finding all these great relationships or having kids, doesn't mean that I know this culture makes you feel like if you're not successful by 25, then someone's going to actually literally come kill you. But that's not how it actually works. Like, everyone's trail, everyone's story is different. And it's very easy, especially with how prevalent social media is, to compare your behind the scenes shit to somebody else's highlight reel. And it's just not realistic. I found Dom when it was time. And if someone had said that to me when I was waiting, I would have slapped them in the face, because it's so annoying to hear. Because most people aren't honest about their experiences. Most people aren't honest about it. And so it's like, what the fuck do you know? You never went through shit. Like, fuck off. I'm not just giving you advice. But I'm telling you, there were days I could not get out of bed. I couldn't shower. I couldn't eat. I couldn't go to work. I'm fortunate I didn't lose my job. I was sick all the time. I was crying all the time. I was miserable. I didn't even want good moments, because they were just going to get bad again. Like, I'm not interested. But I made it through all of that, and I knew how ugly it was, and I genuinely did not think it was ever going to get better. Like, everyone's like, you know it's going to be okay, right? And I'm like, no. No, I don't. Now I do. So now I can tell you, like, if your dom is what's on the other end of whatever you're going through, I promise it's worth every nightmare. It really is. He is so good. He's so good. And I love him so much. And it's just funny to look back now, like, at the little progressions in our relationship where, you know, people would be like, oh, you guys didn't get married. And he'd be like, oh, chill. And I'm like, whatever. And now he's like, so we need to have an actual wedding, right? If that's what you want, baby. It'll be okay. It can't stay dark forever. Thank God for that. So that's my slightly tangential 40-minute story. It turns out 38 minutes and 15 seconds we're up to, of how I met Dom. I'm sorry if I parked in the shade so that you guys could see my face, and the sun has the audacity to keep moving. If I forgot anything or if I left anything out, just drop questions in the comments or in the replies on Twitter, like whatever, and I'll try to add to it. I knew I was going to leave stuff out. It's just an inevitability because it's almost a year's worth of information, and truth be told, I could go on about Dom absolutely forever. He's perfect. You guys are also all more than welcome to go follow him. You know me, I will never be that person that's like, why you follow my man? Go follow him. He likes raccoons and video games and stupid memes. Go, be friends, have fun. It's at the base Dom. And yeah, if you made